Good morning, it's Wisdom Wednesdays. I am Ariana Newcomer, Dove Oracle Priestess, and the creator of the Wise Woman Immersion Program. And today's topic is, why is it so difficult for us to take care of ourselves, especially as women? I know when I was a mom of young children and challenging young children in a challenging marriage, it was really tough. It was really tough. And our culture has such judgment about, especially mothers, doing anything outside of caring for our families, our homes, volunteering in the schools, helping with homework, doing the shuttle for the kids to sports and field trips and all those kinds of things, and the laundry and the shopping and all those things. And I really, really struggled to take care of myself at the same time. And I did manage to carve out time to sing, to practice singing, to take voice lessons, and to get myself to the gym. And I knew it was really important for me to do things for myself so that I could really be there for my family. And I still felt really guilty about it. And my kid's dad, my husband at the time, also really shamed me about it. If he would come home at lunchtime and I was taking, a few minutes to read the newspaper over lunch, he would say, "I wish I had time to read the newspaper." Or if I told him at the end of the day that I had gotten to the gym, feeling good about myself for taking care of myself and getting to the gym, he would say, "I wish I had time to go to the gym." And so I felt so guilty. I felt so deflated. I felt so devalidated by that. And I can understand that he also wished that he had the time to do that, and he was working to support the family, which was important too. But what if he had approached it saying, "I'm so glad that you have that time, that you've taken that time to give yourself a few minutes to read the paper, that you got in that exercise, good for you. Let's sit down and figure out how I can do that too." Instead of being a partner with me, his approach was to shame me, and I sure did feel guilty. And that was a pattern in our relationship. And I ended up with acid reflux. And many of you have heard me tell my story about losing my singing voice because of that acid reflux and for other reasons. But the toxic relationship was a big reason. And after I went through the divorce and started coming into the new phase of my life after that, I really, really realized, and my spiritual mentor helped me realize how important my self-care was, not just for me, but for all my relationships and for my spiritual development. And I've talked in other Wisdom Wednesdays about the shadow and how our unacknowledged and unworked with shadow aspects can really drive us unconsciously and do some damage in our lives. And so taking care of ourselves and actually doing things that deeply, deeply nourish ourselves is really, really important. And it's especially important, I believe, for women in these times, because we're still in this place where women have been second-class citizens for thousands of years. We're considered to have no value outside of all our activities of caring for children, bearing children, raising children, volunteering in schools and hospitals, etc. Hi, Vlada, good to see you. Is given no value because there's no money attached to it. We're not paid for being moms. We're not paid for volunteering in schools. We're not paid for helping with homework, doing the laundry, caring for homes, caring for elders. And so that aspect of all that we do is kind of out of sight and unacknowledged. And yet we are shamed if we don't do those things, right? So yes, things are turning, things are shifting and changing, but they're not completely shifted so that women can be in full partnership with men, which will actually help men in the long run too. This dominator culture that we've had has damaged men also in different ways than it has damaged women. Women's emotional lives have been devalued, and we've been shamed for being too emotional, etc. But men's emotional lives have been devalued as well. They've been cut off from their emotional selves. Boys don't cry. You can't show emotion in a meeting. You have to be the dominator, things like that. So our self-care, and I'm just going into a period of enrolling a new group in the Wise Women Immersion, and we were just talking in the current group in class yesterday about this issue, that it's hard for women to give themselves something like the Wise Women Immersion, which is a 7-month program, which really is designed to help you claim your sovereignty, claim your earned wisdom, speak your truth, reclaim your voice, bring it out into the world, come into partnership with self, do that next level of deep inner healing. And that actually improves relationships. All of the women who've done the Wise Women Immersion have reported that their intimate relationships with spouses, partners, children, and people at work have all improved because of the work they've done within themselves and the self-care and self-love work that we do in the Wise Women Immersion. And so I really want to encourage you to understand, whether it's the Wise Women Immersion or something else, that it is so deeply important for you to care for yourself and to do things that truly nourish your soul. And if we don't do this, caring for ourselves on this deep, deep level, we truly miss out a huge piece of our spiritual journey. Is when we come into this deep love for self and treat ourselves with true partnership and respect and love, then we actually can become like an avatar of divine love. And we can't truly do that until we do this for ourselves first. One of the members in the group was talking about how she had been in a relationship. She'd been a devotee of a certain guru for 18 years. And this guru believed that women were not capable of enlightenment. So he had separate groups for the women and the men. There was plenty of sex that went on and stuff, but the women were considered to be unable to come into enlightenment. And then the men were treated as first-class citizens. The women were second-class citizens again. So that's another aspect of shadow, unacknowledged shadow in spiritual teachers. And I've talked about that too. Now, I'm not a guru. I'm a guide and a mentor, and I don't consider myself above anyone in my groups or any of my private clients or students. We're all in this together. We're all on this journey of elevating our consciousness, moving into the next level for ourselves. And it's my job to help you come into your wisdom, your sovereignty, claim your voice, not my voice. I don't have a cookie cutter program. It's not about you being exactly like me. It's about you becoming more you and more fully aligned within yourself so that you can take your next steps forward on your spiritual path, in your life journey, with your soul purpose, whatever it is at this phase of your life. So that self-care piece is the foundation. It's the foundation. It's what has allowed me to come further and further along my own spiritual path and to become a guide and mentor for others, is taking care of myself first. And there is actually research out there that shows, and I remember one of our therapists saying this when I was married to my kid's dad, that when the mom is happy, the family is happy. And we as moms can just drive ourselves into the ground, and that's not in the best interests of our kids, of our spouses, and of ourselves either. So I really, really want to encourage you, whatever you do things for yourself that are really deeply nourishing on that soul level, that help bring you into the place of greater alignment inside. We all have like multiple parts inside, our inner children, our inner judge, our inner critic. When we do this work of self-love and self-care, those parts can become allies instead of saboteurs. So we treat those parts also with love. And coming into this greater and greater self-love has been one of the most important things that I've done for myself and for my health too. It's really important for our health. So when we don't care for ourselves and we drive ourselves, then we get sick. I got acid reflux from the constant tension in my home, and it took me years to recover. And I'm actually still carrying things in my body. I've realized recently that my neck is still carrying this tension of I gotta hold on tight or I'm going to be destroyed. That was the message I got from my neck the other day. So I'm now practicing just giving my neck love and appreciation. And that's allowing my neck to now release and let go these years of tension of not being able to actually really fully turn my head with the full range of motion without some pain. So there are all kinds of ways that this not caring for ourselves show up for us. Body tensions, digestive problems, foggy brain, all kinds of other ways that our bodies will let us know that we're not caring for ourselves enough. So I would love to talk with you. If you're interested in the Wise Women Immersion, I will put a link in the comments. You can go look at the course page, and there are buttons on that page to book a time to talk with me about the program. And the women who have done it have all loved it, and they're all telling me, you can't stop doing this, you have to keep doing it. This is such a wonderful program. So I love doing it. It's one of the ways I care for myself, is giving this work into the world. So I'd love to talk with you, and I will see you next time.